Welcome back to Wario Land 3. So let's get back to Out of the Woods. Now that we have our new power-up, now we can do the butt stomp and break some stuff we couldn't before. Again, it's all about going back to previous stages with the power-ups. Again, they're doing the kind of the Metroid thing, kind of.
Mm-hmm. I forgot if I did mention actually in part 1, but I kind of did forgot until re-listening because it's been a long while since I actually did play the game for myself. I'll be able to tell that in the very last part, don't worry. But I just remember that this track, this particular track, in general, a couple of the tracks from Wario Land 3, tends to get used as background music in a lot of YouTube reviews of some kind.
Yep.
You know, I guess they just fit naturally for the environment.
There you go. Wario's flat pancake form returns. There you
Hooray!
Go. And once again,
he ain't dummy flicky flat.
Okay. In fact, let's see if and once again, if you want to go back to normal, you have to let one of these things.
Wonder how the style's gonna look when we get to the 4, because you're GBA.
No,
like
4.
Wario Land 4 is.
4 is a reinvention of the Wario Land franchise. That way, like it ditches the immortal system, no health system. The overall tone and style is very different, much more inspired by Japanese yokai folklore and stuff like that. It's a very radically different game compared to.
It's a good one. I would.
Oh no, it's good. It is good, but it is quite the departure. So it might not be for everybody. Like if you prefer the more Western cartoonish vibe that these first 3 games have, yeah, it might be a bit of a shock.
Total. Especially maybe if you're someone who wants to not binge, but essentially play in a short distance back to back all these titles. I can get why you can see potentially the difference of whiplashing you.
I actually do prefer Good Feels Shake It, because they did a good job in retaining what 4 did great, while still bringing instead of like not necessarily a Western cartoon thing, but more like a 90s anime style of tone, right?
I feel like if we do get a new Wario Land game, the gameplay is going to be different, because every 2 games they always shake it up.
Funny
that. Anyway,
that was unintentional.
Anyway, so yeah, the mini game that we need to complete in order to get rid of that block is actually a golf mini game.
It's Wario Golf. Get it?
Yes.
That enemy looks like the characters from Fling Smash.
So yeah, the idea is that this is a par 4 course. So, oh fuck, and yeah, and if you screw up, Wario trips. Yeah, rough terrain.
I will say that some people might consider Wario Land 4 something of a proper conclusion to the franchise, though, because technically, while, yeah, there has been the whole cartoony Warner Brothers stuff going on, there's been a lot of Japanese yokais and whatnot actually showing up in the Mario Land and Wario Land series. From the Jiangshi to the Kitsunes and whatnot, like...
The first Mario Land was a trip around the world, so Jiangxis were present because it was the Chinese level, you know.
Although, like I mentioned, we have been seeing a bit of that mystical...
No, for the success, for the sequel titles, obviously, but for the first
thing,
just a coincidence.
And you win.
So the jar inside it has some kind of cloud. Let's see what it does.
No, we've unleashed Galactus.
And it creates a giant lake. Alright, that I smell a water level. The pool of rain.
I mean, Wario was not just happy in stealing.
And we also unlock
the environment.
A town in chaos. Okay, so there you go. 2 more levels unlocked.
Sounds like fun. And now it's nighttime.
Yes, like I said, every time you finish a level, or even just leave a level via the start menu, it changes from day to night and vice versa.
And this can actually affect some things in other levels too.
Yes, it does. Well, remember, Joe, just the previous part, we had the desert temple where certain areas are unlocked or locked depending on the daytime. So,
you know, again, you gotta love the irony that both Daisy and Wario technically got their debut from the Mario Land series.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, wait, did you say irony? Hello?
And yet no
Yes.
one remembers.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was like,
There was a
did you
question
say
for you.
irony or no? I thought I misheard you.
Possibly.
I don't know. Yeah, and here's another golf mini game. Okay, again, if you find one of these golf doors, immediately complete it because you already know that there's going to be some kind of random block out somewhere in the level that needs to be unlocked anyway. So completing these mini games can only benefit you. So don't hesitate to complete them when you can. In order to end, every try requires 10 coins though. So
It's the usual Wario conundrum.
What were you gonna say earlier, Tio? And yet no
one sadly remembers Totanga.
I remember Tatanga.
Yeah, I remember Tatanga. In fact,
No, I'm talking about the Nintendo themselves.
weird. No. I feel like Nintendo have actually referenced him a bit here. And there.
It has been all over the place. Maybe in a text only occasionally.
I believe he also
officially we did. It was either him or Wart, but it was even referenced in Palutena's guidance. His Mesh
If I recall
Ultimate.
correctly, he did also get a Oh yeah, that's right. Tatanga actually does get mentioned in Smash Ultimate for Daisy's Palutena guidance.
Yeah.
That said, I believe he also got a spirit. So there's
Yeah.
that.
What else? There's an alien-like character who looks exactly like Tatanga in the Super Nintendo version of Wario's Woods.
Huh.
and yeah, every time you retry, the course is randomly generated. So if you feel like a course is too difficult, you can always just retry and the course will reset. This one is a bit easier, fortunately, since it doesn't have much rough terrain.
Also, if I recall correctly, Tatanga got a trophy in a Smash game as well.
I think so, yes. Fuck. Alright. And... Fuck.
And he goes for
There
the
you go.
putt, and he misses miserably, forever to now anguish in his
Tiger
pity and
Woods,
despair.
this is not.
You stole my joke.
I mean, okay, gotta be honest, that I know jack shit about golf, so the only name that I remotely know is the one of Tiger Woods.
It's-
I mean, to be fair, that's the only name most people know when it comes to golf.
It's simple too. This is a par 4 course, meaning you have to get the ball in the hole under 4 shots. Let me put it this way. Let's say we have a par 5, which is the highest number. You know, if you manage to get the ball in the hole in 5 shots, it's a par, meaning you literally did the minimum requirement to not fail. If you manage to do it in just 4, you get a birdie. Right, and then so on and so forth, and then eventually you get an albatross. You can also get par 5 is actually the only one where you can get an albatross, and of course there's the hole in one if you manage somehow to. But hole in ones are usually only possible in par 3 courses. Maybe if I look it up, I can see someone managed to get a hole in one in a par 5 course, but that seems ridiculously nearly impossible. I mean, it's already hard enough in a par 4 course, much less a par 5 course. It's definitely not possible in video games, but in real golf, I don't think I've ever heard of anybody getting a hole in one in a par 5. That would require amazing strength.
I think Tiger Woods did occasionally.
I don't even think it's a matter of skill. I think it's more like a matter of super strength, because like, how do you even get the ball to go that far? And you have to, because remember, there's the wind to consider, there's the terrain. Like, it's like 1,000,000 in one shot.
Again, if I recall correctly, I believe Tiger Woods managed to do that every now and then.
Well, let's look it up.
Good idea.
Okay. And there we go.
Yes, Tiger Woods has made 20 holes in one in his entire career.
Oh no, I get that he did, but in par 5 courses, that's what I mean. Like, yeah, because in par 3 courses, yeah, That's definitely there's plenty of people who have done hole-in-ones in par 3 courses, but I'm talking about in courses that are par 5. As in the ones that require the longer ones, if you prefer for me to call it like that. Anyway, we got a pencil, or more like a crayon.
The greatest treasure of all.
Okay.
Yeah, you could use it to I don't know, poke Mario.
All right. So by the way, that was the last time I showed the golf minigame, because I feel like this montage that we just saw is apparently enough. I mean, trust me, there's nothing more to that golf minigame than what you just saw. It's basically the same thing every time. So so I'm just gonna be skipping it starting from this point, because trust me, there's no point. You're not missing anything. All right, Pool of Rain. Okay. So yeah. Weird rock.
That made it look like a Chaos Emerald.
Alright, and now we have these... And there you go. The gimmick of this level is that there's these platforms, and if you butt stomp them, they'll lower and at the same time raise another one. So basically, it's up to you to experiment and see which platforms raise which, so you can try to get yourself a way forward, or upwards.
A way forward. You know, they really should be the ones to make a new Wario Land game.
Oh, I would love a way forward game that looks like DuckTales Remastered.
I mean, especially given how Risky Boots is more or less Captain Syrup, like, they probably would have a good idea of how to do a nice return to form for Wario Land.
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. There you go, it's this one. So you have to... So we have to... there you go.
You add the two to the nail, yeah.
Are they nails? I don't...
They look like that, and they seem to operate on that kind of logic.
I guess.
Like a common cartoon cliche where when a character is like trying to hammer in something else instead gets hammered back by defying laws of physics.
Alright.
To answer your question earlier, Pedro, no. But however, there have only been 5 hole-in-ones on par 5 courses.
Oh, so someone has done it. Okay.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, about Mario.
It's showcase. Well, lots of video games do have occurrences where conditions like that are more facilitating, a player. IRL, it showcase what Deji said. Showcase the fact that the requirements are extremely tight, and you still need that dose of luck.
Let me put it this way, Dwebs. It's like if it would be the equivalent of a goalkeeper trying to score with a goal kick. Like,
it's possible, but it's very hard.
It's possible. I guess it's technically possible. Has it?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, regardless, but the difficulty, that's basically my point. My point is that the level of difficulty in doing so, it's basically the same. Like, it's not something you can just do willy-nilly. Like, it requires a shit ton of luck because wind, resistance, hoping that no player Dwibs will catch the ball in the meantime while the ball, so there's just way too many factors that
well, in the case I know of, it was kind of aided by the wind.
Yeah, well, wind's
always a factor.
That would be the case. Any sport that involves some kind of something involving kicking or throwing or shooting a ball, the wind will always be a factor. Like
especially in football.
Yeah, like that's just how it is.
Well, American football side.
Oh, and European football as well. I mean, when you shoot a ball, the climate is also. Imagine if you're playing while it rains. This means that the terrain is wet, meaning it's harder to run on it.
Cha-ching.
And the cog or wheel. Okay.
It's something.
Let's see if it does something. It does not. Okay.
It did not.
Yeah, this is basically what I was talking about. Like, basically, you have to get into this point where, okay, see what I mean? We unlock the Pool of Rain in the town.
Hey, look, we're in the city from Wario Land 2.
It's interesting.
It's the town in chaos.
Actually, Jova, lore-wise, this takes place inside the music box world, whereas the town from Wario Land 2 takes place in the proper real world, so this cannot possibly be the same city.
There's a simple explanation for why they're doing this. It's called reusing assets.
That too.
Which is very common in video games. Please do not let Pokemon fans tell you otherwise.
Also, I guess it is really this is explainable in saying that whoever made a music box made a replica. Okay.
I guess.
I'm not gonna lose my head over this. Sorry.
No, I'm not either.
No, we're just joking, too. Nobody's actually angry at this.
No, I know, but whatever. Go on,
sorry, Digi, what was that?
I wasn't saying anything.
No, I think Jova was.
No, they just say something about Pokemon, but I kind of.
No. That's. I was just joking about about how some people feel like reusing assets means a game is being lazy. I was like, no, that's not what it means.
Yeah. By that logic, Mario should be the laziest franchise on the planet.
But yeah, basically,
people will say that about New Super Mario Bros. Ayo.
But yeah, the basic gist of it too. Yeah, like I've already explained you how the par numbers work in golf. The idea is that you have to, of course, get your ball in the hole with less shots than your opponent. That's literally it. There's not that much to it, not really. When you break it down, it's very simple rule-wise. That's why let's say when you're playing Mario Golf, for example. When you're playing Mario Golf, let's say, for example, your opponent does a birdie, and you're literally one shot away from also doing a birdie yourself. The game will then we'll say, miss and you lose or something. I forgot what it was. Like, or even, okay, here's a better example. Let's say, for example, your opponent misses the birdie, like if he manages to put the ball in the hole in the next one, it's a par. However, you can still get that birdie, and then Mario Golf will tell you sink to win, meaning like if you get the ball in the hole right now, you'll win automatically because
Anyway, to answer your question from earlier, Pedro, yes, it appears that there have actually been hole-in-ones.
Yeah, that you told me. That you told me. Again, it's the equivalent of in soccer trying to score with a goal kick. It's like one of the most monumentally hard things to do, like because there's way too many factors against you when attempting that.
I mean, I'm sure it's more possible than Shaq throwing free photos. He's done it before. He's done it plenty of times.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Honestly, if you have enough skill, who knows? Maybe it just comes to them naturally.
But yeah, going back to this game though, I can already demonstrate an example with what I was talking about in the previous part. With that treasure of the cloud, I opened up both the Pool of Rain and the Town of Chaos, which is the level we're in right now. I went into the Pool of Rain and I got the treasure that was open to me at the time, which was that cog. And as you can see, that cog did absolutely jack squat. So what I was supposed to go to the Town of Chaos. That's where the next treasure the game wants me to get. So, but my point is that I had no idea of knowing that I was supposed to go in here first. That's my issue. Like I feel like we should have some kind of meter or some kind of screen telling us where the next story required treasure is. But go on.
I would assume that having the cog will at least help you in the long run later on, so it's nice that you got it when you did.
Yeah, I forgot if I did mention that in the first part, but I assume at the very least that an average Wario player will be incentivized to collect all the treasures that they can get anyway.
Oh, I get that, too. I get that.
Especially if having a treasure that you need for a later story bit means that you have that ahead of time. So
for all intents and purposes, aside from getting different endings, obviously, the treasures in the previous two games did serve no real purpose.
Oh, I get that too. And you are correct there. My issue is when we have, because there are also quite a few number of treasures in this game that don't do anything story-wise in terms of opening. They don't open new levels. They're just there for collection, for 100% purposes. So obviously I would like to know when when I would like to know which ones are those, you know, so I know to avoid them if I don't want to. If let's say I want to just do a purely story run, you know, I feel like there should be some kind of way for me to know ahead. That's what I'm saying, basically. But anyway, it's the same problem I have with Sonic and the Secret Rings, where the game will open up multiple missions at once, but they don't tell you what the mission that's required to advance the story is. So you have to basically guess, like Johnny said. But go on, Joe.
Anyway, as I asked before, was trying to ask anyway. So the cog though, will that come in handy later, or is that one of those, you know, gameplay really only things?
If I remember correctly, yes, it will. Let me double.
Having it. Okay. So in that case, would having it now then mean that at least you won't have to go for it later? So you're. I don't know.
No, definitely. There are cases like the ones you mentioned, Joe. But yes, there are. But the only reason I'm bringing it up, there you go. See, the only reason I'm bringing it up is because there are treasures in this game that don't open new levels. That are not used at all. They're just there for completion purposes. That's where I
can understand the issue with that.
That's why I just want I feel like the player shouldn't have to do guesswork to know where to go to move on with the story. I feel like the player should be told. Again, just like Sonic and the Secret Rings should have told you which mission is the one that moves the story forward, so that you don't do any missions you don't want to, because, you know, player choice. Player choice is kind of moot if the player doesn't know what he's choosing, you know. Okay. Yeah.
So what next?
Well, now we are here in this level that just got unlocked, and it's kind of this swamp of sorts. So, all right. So let's see what we can find here. Yeah, and there's a lot of tall grass, meaning you can't see the holes below you. So, yeah. All right.
And then a shiny Mew comes out.
A shiny Mew. A shiny Mew.
Yes, remember, Dweebs, in order to do that, you actually had to move a truck instead.
Yeah, come on. The Mew is definitely under that truck. Don't you know that?
If you want to get a Yoshi, you have to level up your Dragonite, and once it levels up, flip your Game Boy upside down.
That's flipping upside down your console is how you actually get to evolve your... God, I forgot the name.
It's a Malamar.
Yeah. It's so dumb.
It's the stupidest
How
mechanic.
does... okay, I'm
boss battle.
Curious. Oh.
So the boss battle is this giant worm.
Oh no, it's Earthworm Jim's cousin.
Sure, if his cousin was, like, I guess...
Earthworm Billy?
From the deep south, I guess.
Earthworm Billy, he's such a groovy guy. But anyway... okay, the strategy with this guy is that you have to first hit him with a shoulder bash and then do a butt stomp to properly hurt him. Be careful, like, you have to be good with your timing though, because... Whoa. Yeah, there you go. Not to mention the guy changes his stance with each individual hit that you give him. Not to mention, since as you saw right now, one hit away from dying, he will only pop his head up. Meaning you don't have much time to both hit him and then butt bash him, so you have to be fast. Alright, let's try this again.
I'm actually curious that how did they change that requirement for Gen 8? Or is it's unavailable at all? I forgot.
You have to take it. You have to do it in handheld mode.
Fuck.
Fair enough.
Still stupid.
There you go. Third one.
Honestly, that's the stupidest requirement of Revolution to me. Would always be how to evolve a Tyro into an 8 on top, because it requires such a precise placement of the stats evolving. Sure, if you're into IVs, you're basically accustomed to that, but still.
This is why I don't give a crap about competitive Pokemon battle, because I'm like, no.
Alright, and there we are. Oh, but
also
we still don't have the key. It's the boss cleared jingle, I guess?
It's not great.
It's fine.
For a second there I thought there was a hidden time limit.
No. Alright, so we have to find... So let's see if we can find the gray key. Oh yeah, I don't think I've explained about the big coins. The big coins with the music flute are collectible that you get. They don't. Again, they're mostly just there for completionism. I don't think they actually unlock anything. Again, this game is all about the collectibles. I feel okay. Let me put it this way. I feel like it's one of those things where, hold on, because remember, in order to unlock the super duper secret extra level of Wario Land 2, you have to get all the treasures. So there is so I do appreciate the big reward for going on a way to 100% the game. With a new, like with there was basically that you think of it as the Champions Road of that game, basically.
Fun.
You don't like Champions Road?
Oh, I like it. You just try playing with 4 people.
Oh, really?
I have great synergy with the people I played with.
Good for you, Drova. Not everyone tend to have it. Well,
Drova!
Yep. Thanks, guys.
And by great synergy, he means he made them do all the work, and he just sat down, reaping the rewards.
No, test. Projecting is not healthy. I have a doctor who can help you with that.
All right. And this time we got the first of the music boxes that we need.
about time.
Look at all those sewing. Look at all those spinny things you put cotton wool on.
All right. Each of the music boxes actually unlocks more levels. So let's play it.
Riveting.
Lovely.
Wonderful.
Cry every time I hear it.
And it causes the drawbridge to lower.
I love it. I know what happened, but I love the dissonance in the synth. This magnificent music box and then
Up to the big bridge, then.
And no, Teo, Gilgamesh is not in here. Sorry.
Just because there is a big bridge, people always assume someone's gonna try to steal your sword.
And as Nettie just put on his Twitter account, the moral of Wario Land 3 is that music boxes should be destroyed at all costs. And you know what? I agree with that moral. They're so overused in scenes that are meant to be sad. There are different instruments you can use other than music box.
All right. Tune in next time where we go into the big bridge.
See ya.
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.